You are welcome here. Welcome to today's Trader Days and Signal. So we'll be continuing from where we left off in our last analysis. And as you can see, we did analyze and that's we're expecting some kind of reaction from this level. And banking on the reaction we have here previously from our order from this breaker block that we have here. We have this very neat reaction. And personally, I'm anticipating some kind of movement from the level, and we did have it, but it did not give us our expectation of where we are anticipating price to get to from our side. And I discussed the reason why we shouldn't be expecting that. And this one is just to hedge out our buy in case, and even if peradventure the buy did not materialize, and this one would have given us 1 to 5 before we would have been taken out of this particular market. So we are having that, but I discussed why we are not expecting this one to particularly materialize in our last episode. But what I wasn't expecting, because we have this shift on a lower time frame, and we have the break of this low here below. But the internal structure here on 4 hour actually saw the something, but I didn't trust the level. So and at the same time, I'm not willing to add to my buy from this level because there is no imbalance from the level. But from what we see, we can still see the fact that okay, we are reacting from the internal structure, which is not bad anyway. Or I'm already in 2 trades from this level, so I'm not particularly fully ready to take another trade, but I'm willing because of this break of BOS, break of structure or trend change on lower time frame for this level. So I'm hoping that this internal structure that is highlighted from this level would kind of support the price that is coming from this breakup block. Okay, so I was willing to sell from this area. So, when price reacted back into the level, we just took out the level, invalidates the level. And opening yesterday, which was Monday, we can see what the market is doing, what market did yesterday, and kind of, took out this internal structure, and it did react back into some level here. And using our trend line to kind of see what the market is doing with this leg. So you can see we have a break of the leg somehow, but we didn't close below it. So which would have signaled this one to be our major market structure shift in the market. I would have been anticipating that this low would have been taken. Let's assume this low is being taken out of the market now. Then we can now continue to do what to look for sell for that one. Because we sold from this internal structure hoping that it will continue with this trend here, so that at least maybe the imbalance and the reclaim order block that we have here, we tapped, and we have other here anyway. We have one order from this particular leg, this one here. So we are hoping that if peradventure this breaker block was able to send price low, then we would have been anticipating if this reclaim internal structure was invalidated, then we'll be expecting price coming down into this level. But what do we have? We can see our price did not break below this low. And nonetheless, everything is risk in the market, and that's the reason why proper risk management is very, very important when dealing with a messy market like this. So this our order is still in place, and we have been moving in a consolidative manner from this breaker block and this reclaim internal structure. So for a while now, for over a week now, mm, more than 2 weeks now. So making 2 weeks this week that we've been within this level, but we joined this breaker block joining last week. Yeah. So having that in the market, we are still expecting. But from what the market is doing, since this breaker block is finding it difficult to send price lower, then we can still be anticipating our buy. And as you can see, our trend line, even though from my last content I released in my forest ranting something, I talked about how trend line is just a way of validating structure, and we can't deliberately use trend line alone. So we have to combine it with structure. And as you can see, we have this higher low here and this higher high, and we are yet to break below this higher low for us to be able to do what. But we kind of have a shift here, but it's a minor one, so we can't capitalize that on that based on higher time frame something. So we leave that to that. So now let's just look for opportunity where we can buy or sell from the market. And as you can see, this trade is still on. This particular one is still on. So we have a double trade, and this one has been validated, which means it's out of the market. So we have two buys and one sell. But I'm kind of thinking a way of, uh, I want to look for another buy opportunity because of the kind of structure we are seeing here. And as you can see, if peradventure this lower time frame leg want to hold, we shouldn't at least react back to almost up of something, the reaction we have last week. And looking at weekly, we can see that all these things are reacting from the internal structure within these 2 weeks that we have here. So reacting from the internal structure, we know that okay, is a positive buy for us. So we can bank on that somehow. So looking at daily, as you can see, the liquidity below this 2 days low has been taken out of the market, and we can be anticipating some higher prices in the market. So having that in place, we can now continue to do what to expect the fact that okay, our something is our buy is in right direction. So now me looking at lower time frame, what I see is kind of, I'm having some kind of movement. Let's just go on the leg that I didn't have much analysis on. So just take out all these annotations so that at least we'll be able to see clearly what the market is doing. And if we look at this level on 1 hour, we can see if we use structure or minor structure. But from what we can have here, without further something, we can see that the liquidity below yes Friday was taken out of the market, but we didn't have market close below it. We have this shift. But the only thing that I want to point out to us is from this particular level that we have there. We have a very massive shift here, which is a minor shift for that matter. We are on 1 hour, so it's going to be a minor shift in the market. And if we have a minor shift in the market like that, what are we expecting? We're expecting some kind of movement into the highs. If we have a shift like that, we are expecting a trend change, a structure break, which we did have here. So we have the trend change and the structure break are both the Asian high here. So since we break below, I mean, we break above this particular level, we are anticipating some kind of continuation. And if we check through 30 minutes, we can see the 50% of the Asian range, how beautiful it stand. And this particular leg here, how beautiful it stand within it. And as you can see, it's a very massive order block in the market. A very, very pure one at that. Very neat OB that we can capitalize on. And as you can see, we have this liquidity void above it. So, but having this liquidity void, it is the first level of whatever PDA that is presented within the price leg that do give us some movement, which is liquidity void. And this liquidity void is the one that is sending price into the highs. So it is this liquidity void that's did send price into the highs. And having that within the leg, we can capitalize on the fact that okay, we are having a very, very good what is it called? A very good movement into the eye. So since we have this liquidity void being used and not being closed below, then automatically we can be anticipating that okay, this OB has been properly mitigated with this liquidity void that was created within this level. So if we have that in the market, then automatically we can be expecting. And since we have a very nice reaction from the liquidity void that break above this level, then automatically we know using structure that okay, here becomes our strong low, which we are anticipating that it will be protected, and here automatically our weak high. So here being our weak high on lower time frame, we can be expecting that okay, the 50% of this daily range can be used. And as we can see, there is a liquidity void above the OB. Then we know that looking at the way the attitude of Euro USD, then we know automatically know that okay, our OB might not be properly mitigated into the eye because of this liquidity void. So thereby giving us another something within the market, which is this particular leg here, which is now, I believe personally that, okay, money has been transferred from this strong low to this one, to this higher low here, into this higher low. So here can now be our strong low. And our weak high will be anticipating maybe our weak high is going to be. Then we have this another internal structure from within this level that market can just come in to capitalize on moving forward. But since we miss the entry on this one, then automatically we can be expecting that the level we have here, if we look at 1 hour, we'll see what we are going to come kind of be anticipating within the market from this level here. And um there is another other block that has been created here. And we can kind of, try to capitalize on this particular level within this price leg. And, overall, we bringing our confidence from weekly, we can see that, okay, reacting from this internal structure, we can potentially be looking for buys in the market. So if we are looking for buys, then automatically this rejected candle, this mid rejection candle that we have here can serving as our potential order block in the future, but depending on the kind of movement that we have from this level. So looking at daily, picking our confluence from weekly, from this within this internal structure, we are still within the internal structure. And looking at 4 hour with what it's doing, we have a shift within this leg, combining it with 1 hour, as you can see, all these levels that we have here, then we can kind of bank on it anyway. So we'll be anticipating this other block in the market that has been created from within this leg. So if peradventure we didn't have a closure above this other block, then we know that okay, we can be buying from within this leg. So we'll be anticipating that okay, there'll be a proper mitigation of this level here. If peradventure there is no closure above this weak high that we have here. But nonetheless, personally, I've entered the market from that leg, adding it to my something. So we can just have a very, very 15 pips something here. And 13 pips stop loss, and that will give us 65 pips by something. So that will be our first level of something, our first level of entry. And second level of entry will be within this leg here. So and That will give us 15 pips stop loss. I'm going to have 750, 75 pips return, which will give us proper 125. So having this, these are the two anticipation that we have in the market, but I'm banking on this one first. I'm more than this one. So the only thing that can give me some kind of invalidation within this level is when I didn't have closure above this level here, then I can be expecting. But looking at 30 minutes, we can see what the market does. And we already have that closure. And and checking 15 minutes, let's check what we have on 15 minutes, okay? You can see, and this one can be a proportion block if you miss the opportunity of buying from this level. But nonetheless, I still believe that price can still come into this internal structure. So if you watch the video early, you can buy from this internal structure and still capitalize on the buy. And if this level got invalidated, then we know that we can be buying from below here. So nonetheless, if this price close above this level, what you just need to do is to come to 15 minutes, pick this proportion block that we have here, provided price closes above it, then pick the proportion block, and that will give you a reduced stop loss set, so that at least you can buy from the level and continue to go into the highs with that. So this will be our two trade opportunity today, Tuesday 19th. So we'll just continue to buy from that level to support our buy from the reclaim internal structure that we have from 4 hour within from 4 hour from this level. So just continue to move like that in the market. So that will be all. Have a profitable day and enjoy your trading.